here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from wearing her Leadership Roswell Alumni Association hat, Elaine Mayfield back with us. Good morning, Elaine.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm great. Great. I like this weather that's in between.
Yeah, having a good weekend.
Yeah.
Enjoying spring, even though we got the winds coming with it.
I know.
There's bit respites in between the winds, or you're like, oh, it's pretty nice out, So
We used to have our dog show in April.
Yeah.
And it just got so bad that every weekend it'd be the wind.
Yeah.
So we moved it to September. So.
Which is a little less windy.
Yeah, less windy.
Of course, if you got a family, usually there's 100 things going on in September.
Yeah,
so
we
it's
actually last year ended up moving it to October because it was getting hotter and hotter in September.
That's the other problem. Yeah, September. Yeah. I know, like when we do football season for high school, and they start in August for some of those games, and I think it's a little better now, but the Wool Bowl, those press boxes didn't have air conditioning.
Oh.
And it's still like 100 degrees in August, and Friday night with that sun.
It's called a sauna.
Yeah. And I'm like, they put heat in. I'm like, well, that's wonderful if it's in November, but August ain't so handy for us right now. So yeah, for that first month and a half of football, we're roasting up there until about October and November time frame.
It just seems different.
Yeah.
A little warmer in September than it used to be.
Yeah. So, but you're right. Yeah. So anyway, another time, another day, we'll talk about that.
That's another hat.
Yes. But for folks that aren't aware, the Leadership Roswell Alumni Association is a body where their main goal is to support the Leadership Roswell program.
Right, and to recognize the community leaders.
Yes. Yeah. We it's its own entity that works by doing stuff in the community. A couple things, information and helping youth. We of course we just wrapped up our teen leadership program. We had some excellent kids get some scholarships and things. That's Leadership Roswell Alumni. That's one of their big tentpole events. The other, I would say, candidate forums around municipal election times.
Which we had a big one this year.
We had a great one for this one, another success. And the other thing that Leadership Roswell Alumni Association gets involved with is this Leadership Awards Banquet. This is...
Right, and that's an extension of us... the whole purpose is leadership.
Yes.
And to recognize leadership and encourage leadership.
Yeah.
So we have basically, and I'll just kind of get a little history of it, there's 4 categories now. The original category was just the Outstanding Leader Award, and that was in 1999.
Okay.
And the Lifetime Achievement Award. And
those are the original 2.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then we added the Commitment to Youth Award, and that was... like the next year. So,
gotcha.
Yeah, it was very much. And so those 3 went on forever.
Gotcha.
And then in 2018,
so about
the
4 or 5
alumni wanted
years
to
ago
recognize one of our own people.
Yeah.
That a member that was just really big in the club organization and was promoting that. So that's only been 4 years.
So in essence now that's turned into there's 4 different categories we're looking for nominees for. The Lifetime Achievement Award. That one we're kind of, it's in the title there. We're generally looking for older folks that have really spent a good hunk of their life in service in Roswell, or in our community in some way, shape, or form.
Must have a history of improving and giving to Chaves County and be a leader in his or her industry.
Mm-hmm. So basically, people that you just see, maybe it's a church, maybe it's in the work world, or maybe it's civic organizations, things like that. Those people that you see, and in Roswell, we have a bunch of them. Folks that, you look at like Elaine here, who's, when she's not doing Leadership Roswell, she's doing historical side. When she's not doing that, she's doing Galacticon. When she's not doing that, she's doing something else, dogs or something. There's always, and so we have those people in our community, just like Elaine here, and just like many others that, it's like, oh, yeah, they're out there doing the Alzheimer's walk. And next week, they're over here doing Walker Hope. Oh, next week, they're out here hanging out for the zoo, for a brew at the zoo or something like that.
It's just hidden.
Yeah.
It's hidden jewels. And you've been on the selection committee on the board, and you're reading these and you're going, oh, my gosh, I didn't know they did that.
I know. and to be honest, it's a real problem for the committee because unfortunately, we have a lot of good people in this community. And,
absolutely.
And it's a very tough decision for the committee to say, especially when you get to like lifetime achievement where you have, if you get more than one, sometimes we do. And you're like, well, this is like picking your favorite kid, man. How do you do this? It's
Oh,
hard.
absolutely. And the hardest category, oddly enough, is commitment to youth.
Because there's so many great people that do stuff for our kids.
And
in
they're
this
hidden.
community.
They get the nomination. You're like, I don't know that name. And then you read all this stuff they do, and they're like,
Yeah, because you're thinking they're like, they're a coach for some sports team or something. It's like,
Right.
oh, yeah, but by the way, they helped organize the league. And when they're not doing that, they're at church leading their church group and
right,
youth
and
pastor.
helping children in foster care. And, it's amazing.
Yeah. So, again, lifetime achievement, like we said.
Right.
Commitment to youth, exactly what we're talking about. Those folks that are stepping up and supporting our youth. Maybe it's through a church group. Maybe it's through a sports thing. Maybe it's through school, some way, shape, or form.
Helping
Maybe
disadvantaged
Yeah.
youth.
It could be anybody. It could be a teacher. It could be a big brother, big sister.
There's
Could
some
be a coach.
coaches are extremely influential.
Could be a clergy person or something. Yeah, it could be a lot of that. So that's the award for youth. Now, the outstanding leader, that's kind of your be-all, catch-all,
Right.
I think.
Right.
If there's just people
Still
that stand
very
out.
active.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People that you just every day are doing stuff. One week you see them and they're out helping trimming trees at the Historical Society, and the next week they're out at Cahoon Park doing a cleanup. Or the week after that, they're over at the zoo organizing a fundraising event over there. That's the type of people we're talking about. And we have a great group of people. I've seen a bunch. I see them all. They're on the show a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We have a lot of people.
They're very active right now. And I think that's the biggest difference between the lifetime achievement.
Yeah.
A lot of the lifetime achievements, and we actually kind of say in here over 70, but I don't know if we can actually say that. But
odds are pretty good.
Kind of older.
Like your lifetime achievement. Probably have won maybe outstanding or youth.
We do have people
or
that
have maybe won some of these other awards in the past.
True.
If you're doing a lifetime achievement, you've probably turned some heads over the course of time. You know what I mean? Doing some good things.
Yeah.
And then like the more recent, the newest category here is our Leadership Roswell Alumni.
Right.
And this is for anyone to nominate, but ideally this is for the Leadership Roswell. If you graduate from the program, been a part of the program, maybe there's some of your classmates or people you know that are in the program like, man, that person's always doing stuff. Every time I see them, they're running for city council. Then they're doing this or doing that.
And that's what we want is somebody that's really pushing the organization itself.
Yeah.
We have occasionally had a nomination that the person was not active in the organization at this time, so they really didn't qualify.
Right.
So.
But yeah, people that are really promote, out there in the community, but at the same time being a spokesperson representative for the leadership.
Right,
Roswell
and they're there
program.
at every event working.
Absolutely. And so we want to honor those people. So if you know some alumni that really go above and beyond, we'd love to have you nominate them. And again, if you know someone for all four of these categories, awesome. We would love to have you. But if you know someone, we want you to please submit a nomination here. The thing is, it's a little crunch time now. We're April 15th.
Friday.
This Friday is the absolute drop-dead deadline that we can take any more nominations because at this point, the Elaine and the committee has to start planning the event itself and making get plaques made and all the things that need to happen.
Well, we're excited this year because we haven't had a banquet in 2 years.
And that's the other thing, too, is that this is kind of a big deal because we're actually going to have an in-person, sit in a room, all enjoy a meal together and celebrate these people like the way the good Lord intended. The way, in thing. COVID has put a damper. We've had to do it either virtually or not at all for the last couple of years here.
Right.
And so in essence, this one that's coming up in June is not only to honor these people that we're nominating right now, but also to put a spotlight on the last couple of years worth of people that we tried really hard to get out there and everything, but they didn't get a banquet. They didn't get a bunch of people clapping for them in a room, and we
a free meal. Come on.
Yeah, and then get a free meal and get all the modest, meager things we can do to help honor.
Right, and it's odd. So many of these people are so shy and humble. They don't want the banquet.
Well, that's
they
the
say,
problem.
but we want to have it for them.
Yeah, at least get you a nice piece of meat.
Yeah.
Get that in there.
Get in there and enjoy.
Yeah.
And we are so happy to work with the NMMI on their facilities because they're very supportive.
NMMI has been a great partnership for Leadership Roswell Alumni Association.
As you said, team leadership. Yeah.
Obviously, there's many NMMI graduates, staff, and members that have gone through the program and continue to go through the program. That's something I would guarantee every year there's at least one or two NMMI folks that are going through the program because they see the greatness of that program too. People that make leaders for a living are coming to Leadership Roswell to enhance their leaders as well. And,
Absolutely.
And so for them to see that, it speaks volumes for the program and speaks volumes for that. But also, it would not be that way without their support and help either.
Absolutely.
We couldn't do it. Teen leadership would not be happening without NMMI. It just
No, that
couldn't do it.
partnership started several years ago, and it just immediately changed the face of it, and was a very big help.
Yeah, absolutely. So, please nominate these folks. Please,
Right.
we want to recognize them. So you got a couple days left. If you got, maybe it's a pastor, maybe it's your church pastor, maybe it's a teacher or a coach that's really impacted your child's life. Maybe it's, you go out to every event the city has to offer, and every time you see this person in there helping navigate people through things or organizing, maybe it's that person, or maybe it's that one that you always hear about them collecting stuff for homeless or for food shelters, or you know what I mean. They're always busy donating blood when they're not doing that. You know what I mean? There's people out there that and these people just do it. They don't look for. They don't make a production out of it. I'm going to do it. Some people, and nothing wrong with that. I get it. People want to be recognized for their stuff. But some people, you almost think like they announce it to like, hey, everybody, I'm over here doing good things. Look at good boy doing good things. And then other people like, oh, well, it needs to be done. I'm going to go do it. I don't care if you know or not.
As I said, hidden jewels.
Yeah. And so we really hope this awards is an opportunity to expose those hidden jewels, to let people see and understand. Oh, we have some great, great people that make the wheels turn every day that we, in some instance, may not even realize or know they're there or do it. And then the moment they're gone, you realize real quick the impact they had in our community. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, that's when we find out most of the time, is when that they're gone and left us, and we see the void and the impact. And we want to get there before that this time. So let's
right.
Yeah, let's go out there and so spend a couple hours today percolating, thinking about some people.
Yeah, and the form is one page. It's not. Of course, you can add to it. I think I was telling you before, we've had people that have put 7-8 pages behind it, which is fine.
Well, you're selling someone to us, to the committee here.
As I said, many I don't know them until I read their nomination.
And I'm telling you right now, the nominations are going to get, every single one of these people probably deserve it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Every single one of them. And so if you're like, well, this person's so great, I've got to write an extra thing on it, or I'm going to go and get some
I've had them
endorsements
with
to go with it.
pictures and stories and everything,
The more ammunition you give them, the more information they've got to say, you know what, this person's over the top every time. You know what I mean? So I'm like, these are all great, but every page I turn, there's something more amazing on here.
Absolutely.
You cannot, that's just overwhelming evidence, And
we've had people that have been second or third, in the past, and they're and they get nominated the next year.
Yeah.
And
they end up
so you can renominate. Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have people call and say, I nominated so-and-so last year. Can I nominate them again? Absolutely.
If you think they're worthy, you're absolutely right. You can. Absolutely.
And oftentimes they win.
Yeah. Well, and that's just it. Good people don't stop doing good things.
That's right.
They just keep doing it.
Yeah, they add to the resume.
Mm-hmm. And so the next year, you're like, all right, now they're getting even more wonderful.
Right.
and that's what it's all about. So, but like you said, this Friday is the drop dead deadline. They have to be in Elaine's hands by the end of business here today.
Right.
If you need a copy of the application, you can reach out to Elaine here, or Amy, or
at the Historical Society, and you can drop them off in. They have a mailbox out front with the slot.
Yeah,
you can drop them off there. That's what's happened in the past.
Yeah. So you could reach out to Elaine via the phone 575-626-2640, or shoot her an email, condor@dfn.com. And she'll be happy to get you an application, and vice versa. Once you fill out the application, you can email it back to that same address, and you're in. Or you can drop it off, like I said, at the Historical Society.
Yeah, we get them handwritten. Don't worry about that.
As long as they make it readable.
Yeah, it's legible, please.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. Like if you're
drop it off at the humane-sided slot. That's the easiest. Not humane-sided. Hello.
Historical
Society.
I mean, you could try. They may be able to help you, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
They got bigger fish to fry today.
I don't know if they have a slot on the door.
They're busy trying to rescue pets and keep things quiet there. But if
Historical Society, that's at Lee and 2nd.
Yes, right there on the actual museum is right on the corner of Lee and 2nd.
So it's easy to
and the archive
drop
is right next door to it. Just park in that parking lot in between, and then you can Matter
Right.
of fact, if you catch the right time of day, you may see people out there walking and talking and touring the facility and chit chat with
That's
them.
right.
So, but yeah, I would say if people have told you in the past you have horrible penmanship, maybe type it up or switch to print.
Well, you certainly can do that.
Yeah.
But some people, it's just easier. Just jot your ideas
Sure,
down,
absolutely.
put an envelope and drop it in the slot.
But if you got
That's
bad
easy.
cursive, then don't use the cursive.
They don't teach cursive anymore.
I know. Well, I remember, and this is a whole nother thing, but
Sure.
my wife being a second grade teacher, and
Oh.
for years, and she's gone 25 years now of teaching, so she's been doing it a while. And I remember, you know how they used to have they have the alphabets up on on the kids' classroom up
Yeah.
around, and years ago, and I don't know if it's still this way, but at second grade level, they were starting to transition them to cursive. So they actually almost taught them a different alphabet in between the alphabets. And what I mean by that is you learn to print, right? But they were kind of making an alphabet that were still
Italics.
print, but it was little
Like italics.
like setting up the early stages
Yeah.
of cursive. So I'm starting to see S's that look a little weird. I'm like, what is that mess? And they're like, that's print. And I was like, they didn't do it that way when I was a kid. I'm like, if someone wrote that, I'd be like, what are you saying? I don't know what that letter
How
is.
strange.
But yeah, I don't know if that's still the case or if that's outdated technology and they've still gone to something else. But like you said, they don't even teach cursive anymore.
No, they don't.
They give you a keyboarding class in first grade instead of a writing class. But anyway, I remember when you just happened to talk about it, I remember that moment having that conversation with Kim.
Yeah.
I'm like, why does your alphabet look funny?
Yeah.
It don't look like my alphabet.
That's right.
But anyway, bringing it back on here. Please recognize folks. And then while I'm at it, let's put a bee in the bonnet for the next Leadership Roswell class.
Absolutely.
Of course, the class that's going through right now, they're going to graduate here in May, about a month away, a little
Right.
less. I mean, shoot, I
I
just
think they got
realized
one more class. Yeah.
But beginning in July, they're going to be recruiting heavy for the next class that will start up here August time frame.
Right.
They usually have their first class, usually right at the end of August, first part of September there. They'll have a meet and greet and then
Right.
everything right around that time. And then on average, it's on average usually the first Friday of the month all day.
9 months.
Sometimes it's not the first Friday, but if you're looking for a guesstimate on time commitment, it's a Friday a month. And then a trip to Santa Fe or Ruidoso, which will require an overnight stay. So you'll leave on a Sunday and come back on a Tuesday or something. Or Monday, Tuesday. I don't remember what it is, but it's something like that.
Yeah.
And then there's a cost involved. But this is a great program. It's been going for 30 plus years, and it's really is a who's who of Roswell. It does twofold. It's Leadership Roswell. So first off, it's helping people become better leaders. That's probably the first part of the mission statement is making better leaders. But that's the main part, but there's so many ancillary because through this program you learn about our community. You learn about all facets from the government side, the city, county government, the jail, law enforcement,
Industry, agriculture.
to industry, agriculture, some of our leading private sector places in this community like Leprino and Christmas by Krebs. They've all participated in past years offering their facilities to us to learn about that. They learn about federal government stuff, like we got trips to FLETC and ILEA and each year's
I got to shoot an AK-47 in Fletsy.
Yeah, I got to shoot a 9mm submachine gun that was pretty cool. But you really learn how the sausage is made around here.
Right.
You know, you talk about like we all know about Leprino, but do you know what's going on out at Leprino? There's so much going on, probably way more than you realize.
And the impact it has on the industry.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, Christmas by Krebs. You think, oh, that's a little place to make Christmas ornaments. You don't realize, they are the people that make Christmas ornaments. Odds are pretty good. If you have a Christmas bulb, I don't care where in the planet you are, odds are it came from here. That's how
year round.
big a deal. I think single-handedly, every glass bulb in North America probably came from Roswell. I mean, I think they got some competitors in Europe and stuff, but for the most part, they're the guys. But anyway, that's the kind of stuff you learn in Leadership Roswell. So in June, we're going to start looking for nominations there, and it'll be through the Chamber of Commerce, the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. But we'll let you know. Start getting your applications, start filling those out. There's only 30 slots, so only 30 people get in. 99% of the time, we get more than 30 people applying.
Yes, and that's another one where you can go back again the next year.
Yes.
I do want to add one thing, too, about the impact of Leadership Roswell class. It taught me more of a service thought.
Yeah.
To be of service to my community.
It showed
and
needs.
that put that in my head much more.
Yeah.
And being a zoo director, I mean, animals and the whole
Sure.
thing and doing that. But it put me a little bit outside that into service to my community.
Yeah. And I think it gives you opportunities to show you. We talk about like even some of the things that are big, but then you learn about, there's this group of people, they're trying to do this because within the class yourself, you kind of form into your groups and committees. And so there's responsibilities like, each class has got to do a service project to better the community. So you're going to learn more about one way or another. You're going to learn about our community doing that. Then other committees are in charge of different things like planning parties and celebration. But all of that is part of the leadership process.
Yeah. And my biggest thing was networking.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where the teaches all that.
I graduated in 95. But I'm still have a special friendship with so many of my classmates. Sure. We networked, and I say, I know so-and-so over at whatever, and I can give them a call.
And that's part of the networking, and is learning it because, like you said, we have these committees like, we're going to go to Santa Fe. Well, there's a committee that's got to, because the man who's in charge of the program doesn't want you just sleeping on the bus. He wants you engaged. It's like,
Rick Kraft is amazing.
we got a couple hours of together time. Let's turn this into something, you know. And so there's a committee that plans all the activities. But guess what? They'll give you a little money. It's like, here's $100 or $50, but odds are pretty good you're going to need more than that. So you got to network. You got to reach out. Okay, who's partners of Leadership Rouse in the past? Maybe they're going to willing to donate some food or some material or time or whatever it is. But you as a committee have to say, all right, we're in charge of making sure this happens. How do we make sure it doesn't stink? We got to do that. And so you got to learn on the fly if you don't have these skills. If you don't have these skills, then you got to learn on the fly. And that's and so there's a method to that madness too. But that's what the program is. And really, it's a lot of fun. I guarantee by the end of the year, you're going to have 29 friends. That's because I don't care what walks of life you are, you get, and you'll remain friends with a lot for years afterwards.
Many years.
Especially like the people who are in my class. I mean, I'm a radio guy. I'm a unique. I kind of know a lot of people anyway, so I was unique scenario going in. But even still, a guy that I like to consider myself kind of plugged in, I still learned a bunch about things that I had no idea that was going on in this community. So even someone who, like myself, who I consider kind of pretty versed on it, still learning a lot of good stuff. So I imagine someone that's new to this area or someone that doesn't have a lot of experience seeing what goes on in this town, you're going to be blown away by what you're exposed to through Leadership Roswell. So.
And we have well over 800 alumni right now.
Which means there's a lot of people that could get out and volunteer. we got a good core group of people, but there's a bigger pool that we could pull some people from.
That's right.
So, but again, the award nominations deadline to get these in this Friday, getting them into Elaine, and then in June we'd love to invite folks to come out to the actual award ceremony as we get.
Yes, it's totally open to the public.
Yeah.
It's $30 a ticket, and we did have to raise it because the prices just went way up on food.
Everybody knows that you go to buy any kind of meat right now at the store, you're going to pay 4 times for it. Well,
exactly.
Guess what? We have a bunch of generous people, and great people, but at the same day they gotta break even, and they gotta pay their bills as well. So
exactly.
So yes, the price has gone up, but that's the world we live in right now. So
that is true. We were at the VMV Hall, which is newly renovated at Nemi, and it'll be on June 23rd.
Very good. Yeah, they always do an amazing job of catering and making the night special through their
food is very good. Sodexo, I never meant to say that right.
Yeah, their food service and of course their facilities there, they do a wonderful job of all that. And of course their staff and personnel do an amazing job of being, like I said, many part of them are there, in the dirt with us doing Leadership Roswell. So
yes.
But we need your nominations. We need them. I say this, and I know I always probably get a few curses at me every time I do this. I want you guys to make it very hard for this committee to come up with some names. I want you to submit a bunch of names to them, and I want some good debate, healthy debate, where they're making merits for each of these folks, because at the end of the day, all of them deserve it. And that's a great problem to have.
It is.
And we have the people. I know we do. We just need the people to step up and say, hey, you should nominate this person, and why. And we would love to hear that. So
Absolutely.
Please brag on some people for us. Let us know who's making things happen in your community, and get these nominations to them and see if we can throw a little spotlight on them, and especially if they don't want the spotlight. And we really want the spotlight, because we know they're going to go out of their way to hide from us and not do this. And I'm sorry. Sorry, it's a rule. You're going to be active in our community. At some point, we're going to recognize you for it. It's a rule.
And we have really appreciated the recognition that we got in the last 2 years, because we couldn't have a banquet.
Yeah.
But Pecos Valley Broadcasting, the radio station, have covered and interviewed each one individually.
Yeah, we tried to help in as much as we can.
And
here.
Roswell Daily Record has put in front page an article on each person as
they
the
did
spotlight.
a great job too. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really been a lot of recognition in the last couple of years.
We're just
even though
missing
we
the fellowship
couldn't have
part.
a bank. Yes,
Yeah, we're missing
exactly.
the fellowship part. We
had party.
Yeah, and that's what we do. By the way, these people, not only are they good people, they're kind of fun to hang out with. So we kind of want to hang out with them. So
That's right.
Come out and but anyway, get your nominations in, and then get your tickets for the banquet in June here.
Yeah, you will have to do a reservation so that we can have a count. And the reason we do it early is because each of these nominees and the selected ones will want to contact their family and
Absolutely.
say, come. And because they'll usually get a whole table full of,
I would like
of their
to
kids
get
and
some
whatever.
people that are close to their
So
hearts.
it takes a little time for them to set all
Share
that up.
this moment with them. Yes, absolutely, as it should be, and as the way it intends to be. We want. Let's face it. The only people more prouder of these people that are getting the awards
Are their family.
Are the families that have been supporting them for all this.
Right.
The good times and bad times. Because let's face it, whenever you have a person that sacrifices their own lives to help others, which every single one of these people that we're going to nominate are one of those people. Mm-hmm. It takes an amazing family of support to help them do that.
And what a treat for the grandchildren to see the grandparents being recognized.
Absolutely.
That's going to instill that service mindset.
Yeah, it's the mindset of the military. You know, you got a military person gets deployed, but guess what? That family's just as much part of that military as they are, and they're sacrificing just as much as that.
That's right.
As the main person sometimes. So, yes, we want to give them time to bring their families, to celebrate with them, to even honor them in some ways. Because I imagine the people that won these awards, they're a little humbled and everything, and they want to thank the people that really made it happen for them. Because for every great person we recognize, they've got great people that they wouldn't be able to do what they do without that support. So.
Oh, and to help pay for all of these dinners that we do for the winners, we do have a silent auction. So if anyone would like to donate an item for silent auction, I will be happily pick it up and set it up.
If you got, if you're, and we're not picky. If you need, if you got like artwork or stuff like that,
gift card for your business
services. Yeah, if you're a business that provides a great service, that we'd love to do that.
We like to do about 12, not humongous amounts,
or maybe it's a material pack.
Right.
Maybe you're a camping store that wants to put together a camping package, or a health and beauty place that wants to put a pamper kit together.
And that helps us to fund paying for the dinners of those that we're recognizing. And this year we're recognizing 3 years worth. So
yeah, we got a lot to make up for. So,
but we're glad to do it.
Absolutely. Again, if you would like to get an application or have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to
Give me a call.
Elaine
or
Mayfield
text.
here. 575-626-2640. Again, that's 575-626-2640. Or you can, and like I said, you call or text that number. Or shoot an email to her at condor, CONDOR, at dfn.com. And same thing, if you fill out the application, you can email it through that email, condor at dfn, or even drop it off at the historical site. They got a little drop box out front.
Yes, that's the easy, central way.
Yeah, but the rule is you got to get it before into business on Friday.
On Friday.
Yeah, so 5 p.m. Friday,
Mm-hmm.
it's all over with. We can't take any more nominations. So please, again, Lifetime Achievement Award, looking for those folks 70 and older on average. Just older folks. That's just a gauge. That's not a.
No.
If they're 69.
We don't even look at their age.
We want someone, a seasoned person that has been doing this
and
for
like
a long
I said,
time.
maybe not as active as they used to be.
Yeah, maybe they've gone into retirement a little bit, or they've slowed down a little
Right.
bit, you know. So we're looking for those nominees. We're looking for Outstanding Leader Awards, and that's kind of our catch-all. You know, people that do great things as leaders in our community. Maybe they're
And still active.
and are still actively doing it every day. Odds are pretty good. These people are involved not in 1, 2, but 3, 4 different different organizations or events or things like that. Those are the type of people we're talking about
Right.
here. And then, of course, our award to commitment for youth kind of speaks for itself. Coaches.
And it's always our biggest number of nominees.
Well, because we have a lot of people that have kids, and a lot of people get involved with their kids.
Right.
So it's probably the easiest area to impact first. You know, like
Right.
if people want to get
You're
involved
dealing
and
with
help.
them daily.
Yeah, kids are probably the easiest. There's more of them around that need help. So yeah, you're right. But but if you know those coaches, those pastors, those teachers, those maybe it's a business owner that does a bunch of great stuff for kids in the neighborhood. Whatever it is, people that do great things for our kids in this community. We want those nominees. And then finally, for our Roswell Leadership Roswell Alumni, and for people that know alumni, our Leadership Roswell Alumni Award, folks that are part of the alumni program that's really gave back to the Alumni Association.
That's the key right there, to give back to that organization. Yeah.
And the community. So people that are constantly, whenever we have our events, they're the ones helping planning it, setting up, organizing it. We have a few of those great people. So, Elaine, you got it last year, right? Was it last year or year before?
2 years.
2
Well,
years
now
ago.
it's all messed up.
I know you had won this award,
I have.
but I can remember it was last year or
I
the year
got the
before.
second one, which was in 19.
Okay.
I was at the last banquet. That's
There
what it
you
was.
go. That's what it was. I knew it was one of these. I was like,
Yeah,
you got
last
it. One
year
of these.
was Lori Dudick.
Oh,
of
another
course.
very deserving
and
purpose.
between us was Donna Horacion.
Yes. Another
and,
one who's always
Mike
involved.
McLeod before that.
Yeah,
Oh my
another.
gosh.
He's always another just great people. So.
Yes.
Again, Friday is the deadline.
Yes.
And of course, if you want more information about Leadership Roswell, or if you want questions about it, Elaine can help you out there too. Reach out to the Roswell Chamber of Commerce. They can go. Look on Facebook. Leadership Roswell
Yes.
Alumni Association is a Facebook page. You can learn more about the program and get involved. And if you're an alumni, maybe you went to the program back in 98, 97, and 20 something or another. And you want to get involved, we'd love to have you. Come back.
Absolutely.
Come on down. We'd love to have you. So.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Did we get it all, Elaine? Is there anything we missed?
I think we did good.
Good deal. Thank you, ma'am, as always.
Absolutely.
And we'll see you here. I'm sure I'll see you again later this week for something, some meeting or something. So
Yeah,
there's always
exactly.
something going on. I'll see you later on. Thanks,
Okay,
Elaine.
you bet.